After the unprecedented success of Daredevil and Jessica Jones, Netflix has decided to pursue two more series based on the Heroes for Hire characters in the New York area of the Marvel Universe. First up is one of my favorite characters from the iconic duo Power Man and Iron Fist, Luke Cage. And after watching several episodes over the weekend, it is clear to me that this is a hit. Although not without his missteps, it comes off as gritty, dark, coupled with an unsurprising urban flair that makes it fit into the current social landscape quite well. Luke Cage, aka Carl Lucas, aka Power Man, made his first appearance in Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, #1, June 1972. Iron Fist was his main partner, followed by Jessica Jones, to whom he was married and has a daughter. So we can see how conveniently these series will be tied together already. And it makes it all the more critical that Netflix gets most of it right. He is played by actor Mike Coulter. The series brings in Marvel bad guys like Cottonmouth, Shades, Black Mariah, and Diamondback. In the comics, these characters aren't really related directly, but they do run afoul of Luke Cage in some sort of way. Cornell Cottonmouth was a minor villain early on in the Power Man series and had a penchant for drug running and getting knocked out. He's played by Mahershala Ali. Black Mariah and Cornell are cousins in the Netflix original. Another minor villain, Black Mariah, was originally a drug queenpin in the comics and leader of the Rat Pack gang. She's played masterfully by the veteran actress Alfre Woodard. Shades and Comanche were a criminal duo in the Marvel Universe, normally working together on various schemes. Shades wears a pair of glasses that shoots beams sort of like Cyclops from the X-Men, but less powerful. Comanche is an expert marksman that uses fancy arrows a la Green Arrow. Shades is portrayed by Theo Rossi, and Comanche is played by Thomas Q. Jones. Neither of them have any special powers in the series. One of the main antagonists is an enigmatic figure called Diamondback, aka Willis Stryker. He seems to be pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes and eventually comes to confront Luke Cage personally. In the comics, Stryker and Lucas ran with the Rivals crew early on when they were in their adolescence, along with Shades and Comanche. Diamondback is played by Eric LeRae Harvey. Detective Mercedes Misty Knight enters the series as a love interest early on with Luke Cage and eventually becomes an overall thorn in his ass. Unlike the other characters in the comics, she's often partnered with Cage and others in the Heroes for Hire team. She's played by Simone Cook. In the comics, he actually has a cybernetic arm, which lends her other abilities, such as concussion blast from her arm. Rosario Dawson reprises her role as Claire Temple. Now, she's the only mainstay character in all of these Marvel Netflix series. She was the love interest of Luke Cage in the comics and was a doctor and not a nurse. Coincidentally, it seems that Netflix has combined her character and the night nurse character from the comics. The story was written by Chio Hodari Coker, who also brought us the Notorious B.I.G. film. It begins a time after the onset of his powers and also after the events laid out in the Jessica Jones series. If you know the history of the character through Marvel Comics, you'll understand that they really attempted to link these characters to the story based on their comic book counterparts. Luke is trying to put his life back together after losing his wife Reva. While doing so, he gets caught up in the ambitions of upcoming gangster Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes. And we follow Luke as he contends with his enemies, finds new friends, and has a crisis of conscience as his actions cause various changes, good and bad, within Harlem. The series deals with several themes, mainly redemption, morality, courage, family, and violence within the black community. Cage finds himself trying to fit in and to basically hide in plain sight. He takes some really menial jobs to make ends meet. And to redeem himself, however, he must confront the powers that he has and use them in a way to help others, which goes against his whole invisible man shtick. Frankie Faison plays Henry Pop Hunter and befriends Luke through his now deceased wife, Reva. He runs a barbershop that is seen as a safe haven for youth as well as a sort of Switzerland where enemies can come and talk about things civilly. He believes in hard work and tries not to swear while he works. This theme is pervasive through the series as Luke tries his best not to use vulgar language as well as be an upstanding citizen in Harlem. The idea of family is addressed frequently in the series, and most importantly, the absence of fathers in the black home. This is important to note because this is a central issue in our communities in real time and has social, economic, and political impacts. Cottonmouth speaks about how his father abandoned him several times. Pop also mentions it, and even Chico remarks as to how Luke should stay out of his business because Luke is not his father. And it's important to point out that Luke has a contentious relationship with his own father. While not giving too much away, Alfred Woodard and Mahershala Ali shine above and beyond the other actors. Seriously, they make the series so much more poignant and powerful. You really sense the lust of power, the brooding rage within Cottonmouth. It's so real and it seems viscous, oozing from every pore of his being. Woodard is stellar in her contemptuous and calculating role, showing as much fire as a crooked councilwoman. Their chemistry is undeniable, it doesn't seem forced. And this is really, to me, the standout performance in the series. The soundtrack needs to be noted because Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest, as well as upcoming producer Adrian Young, have put together quite a wonderful score for this show, mostly because it seems that being in Harlem, you want to have this kind of urban vibe, this hip hop vibe. It's very, very tastefully done. I might be partial to hip hop and soul music because, of course, that's what I grew up in. But it's worth noting that the atmosphere created by this music is really fitting, and it's a perfect complement to the ongoing tension throughout the series. As a conclusion, there's so much done right with the series that I can only say that I'm delighted with every scene. Coulter is not the best actor, but he does well enough as Cage, and I sense he tries his best to embody all of the attributes of a reluctant hero. It's done so right, in fact, that the series may have caused Netflix to crash due to everyone's anticipation of this show. I mean, literally, Netflix actually went down. I believe that by the end of the series, though, we'll be begging for more and salivating over the next venture, which is Iron Fist. Can't wait for that. I urge you to go out and turn on Netflix. I mean, if you're paying for the series, you're paying for the service, it behooves you to take a look at this. Cannot promote it enough. I mean, it's an excellent series. If you like mean, if you really like Gotham and how they've done certain superhero series on these primetime networks, definitely should check it out. All right, peace.